Live from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, it's Reveting's Whiskey Wednesday. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, Revenue Party people. Eddie, where's my part? Where are you?
Sometimes I feel like I should hide and then just like pop out of nowhere for absolutely no reason. Just say, what up, part?
What's up, part?
Okay, before I even say anything, before any PSAs, this is our first all-women panel.
Heck yeah.
I am beyond thrilled. And
Cheers
I'm just going to say that in advance. So cheers to that. And before we get into it, obviously, there are some housekeeping items that we have to go through, as you all know. So why don't we go through it first, and then we'll get into guests. So as you all know, we do have 4 housekeeping items. The first one is, as every single week, if you are new here, our PSA on alcohol, we state every time, is yes, there is whiskey in the name Whiskey Wednesday, but we do not promote, neither condone the use of alcohol on any level whatsoever. If you do decide to drink alcohol, please do so safely and do not ever drink and drive. You can choose to drink whatever it is you like this evening. It could be milk, it could be water, it could be juice. But if you do drink alcohol, please do so safely. The second announcement of the evening is going to be next week. And you know this, we do this every week. We announce our next week's panel, which is going to be Ryan Escalera, Troy Barter, Alexine Mudawar, and Tara Robertson from Chile. Our third PSA that's going to come right up right now is going to be, of course, thanking our sponsors. So as you see above me for this evening, we have 3, actually they've all come back. So we have Headset Advisor, this way, I always mess that up. It's always just on the other side. So we have Headset Advisor. As you know, they've been very supportive and they do have a gift that they're going to be giving tonight and have been for quite a while now. It's going to be a $500 pair of headset. And if you're looking for anything when it comes to headsets, I highly suggest that you do contact them. From what I've been hearing, especially in sales, people tend to do crazy things when they're buying certain, headsets and whatnot, but reach out to me and I'll make sure to connect you with the right people. Second, we have Lead Delta. They are basically their #1 networking tool when it comes to managing your network within LinkedIn. Third is going to be Phone Ready Leads. We've talked about this before. We do have a video that we will be showing in 2 episodes from now, but instead of racking your brain and trying to get lists of thousands of people to try to call and siphon through, reach out to Phone Ready Leads. They'll literally try to filter that down and make sure you get actionable numbers that when you do call, do actually pick up. Last but not least, everybody here knows my affinity for ClickUp. We have a guest with us this evening from ClickUp. And if you do not know what ClickUp is, you basically live on a rock in 2022. So to make it very simple, if you think of anything like docs, spreadsheets, mind maps, whiteboards, ClickUp brings everything together in this absolutely beautiful platform. That would be our sponsors for this evening. Last but not least, we have our giveaways. But before we do that, we do have an agenda. What do you think?
Do we want to do the agenda? Go ahead. Let's go ahead and finish the giveaways.
First.
No, let's keep on going, right? Thank you, the sponsors, today's giveaways. Take it away, Eddie.
So we have 3 prizes for this evening. The first one's going to be your headset from Oro Sound Tilt Pro from Headset Advisor. The second is another hat, of course, of Sadness from Ross Pomerantz. Second prize is going to be the Prospecting Playbook from Anthony Natoli. Second, Career in SaaS Sales from Hamish. Last but not least, on the second prize, Brand 30 from Andrew Mewborn. The third prize is going to be 1 year free premium from Lead Delta, 1 year free from Hype Fury, and 1 year free pro with Lavender. Part, what do you think? Take it away and do the agenda? You're on mute now. Don't mute.
Let me get this up here now.
I'll help you out. Don't worry about it.
Agenda. Sorry.
Kick me out.
So, first topic. When are we gonna
kick me out of there?
Get back in the screen. Don't be awkward. Okay. Look. First topic, staying top of mind. This is going to be a good one. I'm excited to bring in the guests so we can talk about this. But the second topic is going to be spamming versus selling. Now, what are y'all doing on LinkedIn? Some of you are pitch slapping. I have a whole parody about this. I will have to show you my TikTok sometime. Halftime show, we got a sponsor video. Thanks, Eddie. Eddie hooked us up with these awesome sponsors, which I love all of them. They're great. Fourth topic, storytelling and fun. Okay, so we're really lucky to have Melissa Rosenthal with us, Chief Creative Officer from ClickUp, to talk to us about that. And I heard on her podcast, her talking about that, which inspired this topic. So let's get into it. What do you say, Part?
I would love to. And then we got some really cool giveaways that we're going to give at the end of the fourth topic, which you all know, of course, you're going to have to plug in throughout the show. You just show a surprise.
Was I not supposed to? Do you want to tell the surprise?
You did that on purpose.
I didn't mean.
You did that on purpose.
Down the list.
No. But we do have some pretty awesome prizes. And we do have two, let's just not say anything from now. But why don't we bring in the guests and just get started?
Let's do it. All right.
Let's get her done.
Alexis Scott,
Woo!
Tara Gooch, Melissa Rosenthal, and Samantha Mckenna. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday.
Hi, you guys. Hi. Let's go.
How's it going? We usually ask everybody to start off by giving us a quick 30-second intro to yourselves, and we will cut you off. So why don't we just go ahead and get started? Tara, do you want to kick us off?
My 30-second intro. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, Whiskey Wednesday. My name is Tara Gooch. I am the CEO of Best Branding Solutions. And at Best Branding, what we specialize in is helping executives and corporate teams develop personal brands that increase reach, increase sales, and increase relevance within your industry so that you are seen as set apart and beyond. I teach you all the tools to succeed right here on LinkedIn. So it's very exciting. I'm glad to be here. Can't wait to meet everybody.
Woo!
Awesome. Woo. Thanks for being here. Alexis, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Alexis Scott, newly minted marketing professional. My new title is Senior Manager of Growth Marketing for a company named WorkSpan. It's a partnership software company. Been in there for a little over a month and a few days. But prior to that, a long career in sales, most recently at a company called Aspireship that I'm sure a lot of people here actually know me from prior. I am super excited. I have been seeing the comments popping in here, and I'm like blown away by the support of friends and connections, and this is going to be a good one.
Awesome. Melissa, thank you so much for being here. Could you give us your 30-second intro?
Yeah, of course. Great to be here. I'm Melissa Rosenthal, Chief Creative Officer at ClickUp. ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity platform that allows you to have ultimate visibility into everything that all of your teammates and your work and your org is working on. It's a great platform for bringing collaboration to the forefront of your projects and tasks, docs, goals. I am overseeing all of brand, so anything that touches brand, our site, our social, comes through me. Prior to ClickUp, I was a very early employee at BuzzFeed. I helped start the company Cheddar. So I had been in the very B2C consumer media space, and now I am in B2B SaaS, and I'm loving it. Been there for 2 years and excited to be here.
Woo! Oh, that's amazing. LinkedIn just had their whole, I don't know what it's called, like their little live that they did today. And their whole thing was about how B2C is now moving to B2B. So that's an interesting transition and how B2B marketing is taking over. Yeah. But without further ado, Samantha Mckenna, this is your second time on Whiskey Wednesday. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I know our audience, they all really love hearing from you, and everybody loved learning about Show Me You Know Me. You're very famous for that. But what would your 30-second pitch be that we don't already know about you, Sam?
What do you not already know about me? For you guys who are new to me, I'm Sam Mckenna. I'm CEO of #SamSales. I've been in enterprise sales for 15 years. Been at a bunch of companies out in the Bay Area, and then wrapped up my time in corporate at LinkedIn before launching SamSales. We're an all-women team of 13, which is pretty awesome. What do you not know about me? I will say something we can talk about when we're having a few cocktails, which is that I have 39 speeding tickets, and that's just domestically. So I learned negotiation at an early age, how to negotiate out of that. We'll leave that for a little bit later, but now you know something.
I was just gonna say that Melissa crushed me on like the explanation of ClickUp, but that just killed me. So it just killed me.
Just
I
killed
was
the
like
show right now.
fumbling. I was fumbling back and forth on Headset Advisor, and I thought the only one I did get was ClickUp.
Everland fun, you guys.
Okay, so we always start by just immediately go into the pricing for the prize before the first topic. So why don't we just go ahead and make sure we show everybody the hashtag before.
Oh, Eddie, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Where'd
no.
you go? Where'd you go? I meant to put you solo layout. I removed you. My production.
So everybody knows that we like to make sure that we support our sponsors and of course our homies and our partners. So the first one for this evening, you saw me today. I spoke about this in 2 different posts profusely. It is a tool that I was very fortunate to become the first strategic advisor for. It is called Authored In. If you don't know much about it, just think about the editor that you have right now on LinkedIn, but on steroids. And I'm completely in love with this tool. So without saying too much, what I would like is for everybody that is watching, please do press in mention Authored In. And the same thing as last week, I made sure to put in the logo so that you do see it if you want to win the first prize. The first prize, of course, is the Sadness Hat and the Headset Advisor $500 headset. So plug in, mention Authored In, and that is the logo that you'll see. So why don't we jump into first topic? I'll scoot on out of here and make sure we have the 5 amazing women start off.
Okay, let me make sure and make room for all of us so nobody's covered up. And let's get into this first topic. Of course, as we're talking, please don't forget to get @authored in to enter to win that first prize. But our first topic is staying top of mind. Tara, I think you were the one who originally brought this up. Do you want to kick us off on this topic?
Yeah, so I'm sure most people are familiar with Grant Cardone's book 10X, the 10X rule, right? So last week, a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to interview Brian Covey, who is a VP at Loan Depot, which is one of America's largest mortgage lenders. He's also a former Olympic athlete. And he brought up a quote from Grant Cardone's book that has since stuck in my mind. And the quote is, "Best known is going to beat best." And what does he mean by that, folks? So what that means is that you know, our whole lives we've taught it's the best person who wins. It's the best sports team who wins, the best athlete, the best marketer, the best leader, whoever. Well, not necessarily. It's sometimes the best known. So when you're staying top of mind and have that top of mind awareness with your customers, what it's actually working to do is customers, not everyone, prospective clients need your product or service at that time. But the point of staying top of mind awareness with them is that when they do need it, that they remember you because you are the best known. So that is a very powerful thing that I just wanted to mention tonight, the importance of top of mind awareness. And again, if we're applying that on something like social media like this, it's about, again, being well known, getting in different networks, right? Networking with other people, other members of LinkedIn, and getting on multiple platforms so that you can spread your message as far and wide as possible and really stay at that top of mind awareness so that when your customer is ready to make that buying decision, it's already made. The decision is already made, folks. That's power.
Absolutely. Anyone want to add on to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first started at ClickUp, we were 60 people. We did not have an 8-figure.
Wow.
We didn't have an 8-figure marketing budget. We were very small. And I came in to do exactly what we're talking about now, build that brand and build something that can last 20, 30 years. You can have the biggest performance marketing budget in the world, but if you don't build a brand, you're really thinking in the short term. So when I came in, I really wanted to build this amazing brand that would constantly be top of mind. And we started to do that in really small ways, right? Just be memorable. I think being memorable, being, visible is important. And then obviously being able to scale that up as your marketing budget increases is really great. So we made a huge investment over the past year into out of home, billboards, transit, you name it. We spent a ton of money in all of the cities where knowledge workers were to really be able to punch up, put ourselves next to our competitors, the big 500-pound gorillas in the world that we needed to compete with. And being able to do that, stay top of mind, and letting our sales team get a seat at the table was really important. So we continued that on. We eventually did a Super Bowl ad. Obviously, there's not dollar for dollar ROI on a Super Bowl ad, but it really allows you to be top of mind, and it will really withstand the test of time. So I'm 100% a believer in building brand and being able to stay top of mind, because you're effectively renting space in people's minds, right? And when you are making that decision, you're going to reference the last thing that you saw. I mean, there's a reason Geico spends billions of dollars a year on out of home and billboards and sponsorships. So we were able to do that on a really small scale and then be able to scale that up in a big way. So pretty excited about this topic. Very passionate about it.
May I just say one thing? So what you just said, renting space in their mind. So a mentor of mine said something a very long time ago. He said, in sales at least, and I'm sure that this is going to have relevance to what you were saying, but the last impression leaves a lasting impression. Mm-hmm. And that's very important. And I've always thought about it like that, which is why I talk immensely about the fact that you need to be, in sales at least, kind to everybody, no matter what scenario you're in, whatever environment you're in, it does not matter. Especially when we talk about cold calls and so forth, or anything cold, if you're jumping from one to the other, whoever you're going to be speaking to deserves your best self. It does not matter what happened previously. Getting into that, if let's say that next call is going to be it, and you left the right impression, it could make sure to get you through that path in the buyer's journey to get to the end. So that's why when I heard that when I was young, it stayed with me my entire life.
100%.
That was my spiel.
Who else has anything to add on staying top of mind? I know I think of touch points as a marketer, and all the different touch points that different companies have and different channels, and planning those out and making sure that you know that journey that your prospects take so that you can appropriately have those touch points where they will see them so you can stay top of mind. That's where my mind goes. How about you, Sam? Where does your mind go? How do you stay top of mind?
I think we always think about the word nurturing, and we think about it more from a marketing perspective, right? That's what marketers do. They nurture our prospects and our buyers and people that sign up for our emails, but then that's the marketing voice. So then there's the whole sales voice. And what do we do to stay top of mind? How do we do that? So I would say two things. One, on the marketing side, how we nurture, when we hear from somebody, hey, we don't have budget, we're freezing spending, we're freezing any money going out, things like that. We say, listen, no worries. Let's think about how we can help you even before you spend any money with us. Come register for our webinars. Why don't you come and have your teams join our women's group, which we are having tomorrow. Can I say that? Have your teams come and do these great things that we're doing totally on the house. Why not? So that's one of the things that we do. Get them to sign up for our marketing materials, get them to spread the word to their team and say, well, we can't spend money right now, but let's get educated for free. I think on the other side with nurture campaigns, we forget to nurture not only buyers that might not quite be ready, right? But say like, reach out to me in 90 days. What do we do from today to 90 days? So putting in a few nurture campaigns to say, here's an evergreen piece of content, right, that made me think of you. Here's an HBR article. Here's a great podcast. Here's an invite to an event that somebody I know is doing that might be helpful to you. Those are all things that we can do to nurture people along the way. And I think about this too, of how we can nurture from a personal perspective. So let's talk about show me you know me, right? What do we know about our buyers? Do they have pets? Do they have dogs? Do they live somewhere unique? Do they have goals to do something? Are they Taylor Swift fans? Can we share the post that's going on about a guy who is willing to take a meeting in exchange for 2 tickets to Taylor Swift? Just funny stuff that we can do to stay top of mind, to kind of rent that space, right? Just as Melissa said.
Absolutely.
I like ClickUp. If you want to sell me, just talk about ClickUp. It usually works pretty well.
Can I add one more thing that I've been pretty passionate about lately? And I think everyone here obviously sees the value in it. But building people as media properties, I think, is the future of marketing. People follow people and not brands. And also, if you're a brand posting on LinkedIn, you're fighting for 20% of all of the algorithm's total juice, right? So why would you want to fight for that 20% when you can fight for 100% of it? So I'm such a huge proponent of this. We're building an internal program to get more people posting and being able to like stand for the company and act as a funnel. I think to date, so many brands have been so precious. I mean, not at the startup level, which is the beauty of it, but they've been really precious about holding that brand so tight to the chest that they wouldn't allow people to be the representatives of it unless it was tightly controlled. And now you're seeing more that they view it as a valuable tool and a valuable asset. And people will be able to combine their personal and professional brands in a way that will still reflect the brand in a really positive light and also attract a ton of buyers into the ecosystem. So I'm a big proponent of that. Would love to hear everyone else's thoughts on it too.
Absolutely. Oh, I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to personal branding. So I, absolutely. I think that it's unfortunately a growth hack right now to like post on LinkedIn and, even other channels, because there are a lot of B2B businesses, especially, who are stuck in the old age of like wanting to suppress their employee's voice and finding it more as like a risk than a reward. So for those companies that do encourage their employees, such as BDEX, they're like David, our CEO, I'm CMO there. He's always been super encouraging of me to go on podcasts. Sometimes the podcast will want to ask me about, like today, they wanted to ask me about Whiskey Wednesday, but they also wanted to ask me about deconstructing data. And it was like blending things together. So like, I'm just upfront about all of it. And, as long as like there's that trust and honesty there, I think that the smart businesses understand that it benefits them when their employees have a personal brand. But yeah, it can be gray, and I think that a lot of businesses are afraid of it. Have you guys seen that before?
I know someone who was chastised for telling personal anecdotes on LinkedIn. This just happened actually a couple of months ago. She's a senior sales leader at a global company, very successful. Her posts are a mix of business and personal. And when I say personal, I don't mean like, hey guys, here's a picture of my coffee cup. I mean like, here's my origin story. Like, here's how I got to where I am today, like those kind of personal stories. And they just straight up told her, literally, less of you, more of the company. And it really upset her. She's like, first of all, let's just talk about the engagement with each type of post that I'm posting. Like, number one, all of this put together is driving leads for your company. They see I work for your company. When they go to my page, they see your logo in my banner. So it's not a mystery of who I'm working for or what I'm doing. But it's the entire thing that you were just saying. People buy people. They want to follow people. They want to learn from others. And, they just wanted her, literally, it's like the stuff that traditional marketing puts out where it's like, here, post this logo, post this webinar, post whatever. It doesn't work anymore, friends. Like that's not where it's at.
The thing to think about. Yeah, go for it. You go, Tara.
I'm so passionate, obviously, about this subject, but the world has changed, folks. So, nobody cares. Nobody cares about a company update. Nobody cares, right? People, like y'all have said, people buy from people, and 100% of your customers are, in fact, people. So, when we share our personal stories, when we display ourselves as leaders, we obviously know that leaders attract and follow other leaders. So by us being authentic and sharing our personal stories and sharing these personal brands that we have, it's in a sense leading, right? It's leading others to follow us. And when we do that, it's that attraction mechanism that encourages people to look at our profile and say, where does she work? That must be an amazing company that it has a great culture that's supportive. So now you're not only attracting other leaders to follow this person, but it could be future top talent that you're attracting into your organization because they see someone being successful with their content by posting their personal success stories and other things. So it's tremendously valuable. Don't ever let an employer tell you not to have a personal brand because they are working in a silo. And that's why I quit corporate America and decided to go out on my own.
Good for you, Tara. You're
Good for
doing a
you.
great job. You're crushing
It
it.
wasn't worth it, right?
I think when you guys think about this, right, we know that our LinkedIn audience doesn't want to be told and they don't want to be sold, right? What I always say, like, we don't want anybody yelling at us and telling us this is exactly how you have to do things and you can't do it any other way. It's all our style. Don't tell us to do it, suggest it. And then we don't want to be sold. We don't want to be reading company content all the time, right? We're not here to just be marketed to. We're here to learn. That's exactly what the LinkedIn audience is all about. We want to learn. Show us your thought leadership. Teach us something. So if we think about 80% of our content should be exactly that. Authentic stories, talking about our vulnerable things that we're comfortable sharing, which we might not be comfortable sharing for quite some time, but teach people something. Teach the other SDRs or the executives or the VPs or the CMOs or the chief creative officers that you have in your network how to do something, right? That's how you'll get your following. And also by being authentic, not by thinking you need to have all the answers, not by thinking you need to be perfect, not by thinking you need to have, a post that doesn't have any typos. I'd really try, but mine always has one inevitably. But just be real and share that information, right? Your audience will connect with you on that stuff. I think the brands who just think like we can just throw a auto share platform out there and we can have our 5,000 employees just share company content and poof, we've solved social selling. Number one, are never going to get the right traction. And number two, are going to do nothing but deteriorate their brand because you're going to have a ton of people with the same exact post saying the same exact thing with absolutely no engagement. What do you want? Do you want your executives, your SVPs to have posts that have 2 likes? Or would you rather teach 10% of your audience how to do it the right way, right? And then really build your brand the right way. I think the other thing too, for anybody who's thinking about building a brand and thinks like, I don't have anything to teach, like what the hell am I going to post? I've been in my career for 2 minutes. I've been in SaaS for 3 minutes. You've got something to teach no matter what stage of your career you're in. So start posting, just give a tip, talk about something successful you learned, talk about something your boss taught you. Get out there.
Yeah.
Take action. I think that's the message there. And it goes really well into our next topic, which is spamming versus selling. Eddie, did you want to do anything with prizes? Are we good to go? Everybody should just keep entering to win, right?
Well, we're definitely going to go into the second prize now. So if you haven't before, if you want to pop me in, I'll make sure that they get the first
Sure.
one.
Yeah.
If you have not already, I do want everybody to go in and mention authored in, as I had mentioned before. You can see it on the screen right below me here. You want to make sure to mention in LinkedIn, authored in. And as you see, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pop that up to show you what the logo looks like really quickly here in the reminder. So it will be that. Why do I screw this up? It's like the opposite way. I'm still screwing it up. Literally right now. Where is it? What the hell is it? So nonetheless, it is the logo that you see. I got it right this time. So it's on this side. Perfect. So it's right there. So it should be the green logo. So make sure you do mention that for the first prize. It is the headset from Headset Advisor, our good friends. And you know what? I didn't say this before, but why don't I pop it back really quickly before we go into our second topic? It's actually right here. They gave me a set I purchased. It's these ones right here, and they are amazing.
They are so awesome.
Jesse has a pair too. Like we got 2 of them. Actually, we got 1 each, and I'm completely in love with it. I'm not saying it because I'm biased and because they're our sponsor, but I'm truly in love with them. Like, look at these. There's like denim on the top. What is that? Like Drew, what is? I know Drew's watching right now from Heads. Like, is this denim? Shit is crazy.
It's awesome, right?
Like shit's
I
been
know, and it's like wireless.
and it comes
Like all these,
with
like,
a
fancy, like,
I mean,
little options here.
I left the microphone actually in the drawer, but it comes with a small microphone that's bendable. And these things are made in France, and we're giving that away. It's $500. Come on now. Anyway,
Eddie speaks French. Tu parles français.
Je parle en français aussi. So what we're gonna do again, press authored in, and why don't we jump into the second? But before we do so, we do have our second mention of the evening, and as you of course all know, let me go ahead and pop that up right here. Please mention ClickUp. You already know my love for it. You can see it in my smile. So just go ahead in the comments and blow it up. Mention ClickUp, blow their page up so that when they wake up in the morning, they're literally annoyed. But just go ahead and see. I can see Melissa's face like, yep, go ahead and blow that shit up. Get her done. Get her done. Get her done. So blow up ClickUp's page, and we'll make sure to give you the second prize. All right, let's get back into topic 2.
Let's do it. We love ClickUp, by the way. Like, we use ClickUp at Reveting. Like,
Woo!
everybody
Yes, we
should
do.
use ClickUp. Like, get organized, folks. Okay, so as you're entering those in, let's move into that next topic: selling versus spamming. I think it was, or spamming versus selling. I think, Tara, you initially brought this one up and inspired it too, and it got us all talking in the DM. So let's just kick it off from there. What was the original thought behind spamming versus selling?
Well, there's so many successful people out, or people that are just so close to being successful in sales. And I have a background as a corporate sales director before I started my full-time entrepreneurship journey. So my heart's in sales. That's where my background is. And I feel for folks out on LinkedIn. But guys, selling is like dating. Do you marry somebody after the first date? No. Do you propose at that first date? No, right? So it's the equivalent of that when you connect with somebody on LinkedIn, let's say, and then you immediately hit them with a DM. Or sometimes I actually get the DM before they even request to connect. So at any point in time in any day, a top level decision maker could have between 50 to 150 direct messages that are spam in their inbox. And a lot of times it's a relevant topic. It's something they don't even need or want, or it's just not applicable to them, right? So it's not about connecting with somebody and then immediately sending them a direct message. There is a way to sell without being spammy, and it's a dance, right? It's like starting a relationship, but you have to go into it with the mindset of nurturing, with a relationship in mind. Again, nobody wants to be proposed to on their first date. It doesn't happen, y'all. So just think about that the next time you're finding those top level decision makers.
That's why I use Proposify.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice plug on that one.
Wait, can I tell you guys my dad legit proposed to my mom on their first date?
What?
really?
Yes, I know. It never happens. Tara's right. Except, thank God it did. Here I am, you guys. If it hadn't done it, I wouldn't be here with you
Pit
today.
slap.
He slid his
You're
name
saying-
for LinkedIn.
Success.
Three hours into it. Yeah, it's bananas.
So-
Anyway, plus 100 to Tara's comments.
Show Me You Know Me was created off of a first date proposal.
Oh my God.
This is the best story I ever heard on Whiskey Wednesday.
I love it.
This is great.
Tara, you're so right though, right? This is exactly what we talk about with Show Me You Know Me. And you guys in the chat, you're exactly right too. This isn't a rep problem. This is a leader problem. This is a KPI problem. This is a valuing quantity over quality problem, right? And you think about all those messages, all those DMs that come in. How do you stand out? Use Show Me You Know Me. Use a creative subject line. Don't use something salesy that your marketing team just put together and that is the same exact thing that they're already getting from marketing. Think about what you know about that person. Put something creative. Throw Show Me You Know Me plus Nickelodeon plus Pineapple plus 39 speaking tickets, what the fuck, in the subject line, and I'll open it and I'll probably respond. So this is where we get creative, right? And actually sell versus spam.
100%. And so I've been on both sides. I was the CRO of my last company. So I experienced a lot of that, and everything we did, every message, I treated it as the most important message I was going to send that day. I would look at the podcast that person had been on. I would research the company, any news that they had come up with. I would research that person, and would include 3 different things that was specific to that person and relevant to their company, and making sure that it felt very well researched and super personal. Took a lot of time, but got a response probably like 85% of the time. And it worked really well. It was really, really, really like about building relationships. And we were talking CMOs of American Express, Goldman Sachs. These are the people we were reaching out to. So I had to make an impression. I had to spend time on it. And that open rate, that response rate was just testament to the fact that it's so true. You really have to build those relationships. Show me, you know me. Make sure that you're actually researching the people that you're reaching out to. It goes a long, long way.
All great points. Selling versus spamming. Alexis, do you have any thoughts there?
I have a lot of thoughts. So it's really interesting. Since joining a marketing team, I get way more sales emails than I did as a salesperson, interestingly enough. Or it's just the time of sales right now. But I'm not sure if it's because I come from a sales background that I like feel the need to critique everything that comes in my DM or my inbox. The ones that are really good, I will write back and I will say, I love this email. I'm not your buyer, but great job. And the ones that are bad, sometimes I'll write back and give tips. I had a whole conversation with a guy from a company giving him personalization tips the other day, and he was super happy. He's like, oh my God, thank you so much for replying. Yes, you're right. I can totally do that. But what I'm curious about, and just as a panel question, is, do you feel like selling into salespeople is harder than selling into other personas because, God willing, they should be like high quality assessments? Like, you got to be better.
Think about selling to salespeople as a sales trainer, showing them the motions that you were going to train their sales teams. Jesus, bananas. Whatever we want to say, talk about pressure. But you know what? I actually think it's easier to sell to salespeople, to sales leaders, because if you take the time to do the show me, you know me, and if you take the time to do the quality, they're going to notice and they're going to appreciate it. And just like you, Alexis, they're going to say, hey, I'm not your right person. Great email. And let me maybe introduce you to somebody inside here that can help you. And I also have 2 people that could potentially look at your solution. So let me reach out to them and see, right? It is easier to stand out if you just take the time. Give me somebody who takes, time in a day to send 20 quality emails instead of 500 spammy emails, and look to see the difference in your response rate. We also get that question a lot. How do I do that, right? If I have all these insane KPIs that I'm supposed to hit, so how do I do the quality over the quantity? Hit your KPIs, put in an extra hour, do the quality over the quantity, and wait to see as your numbers go up. And then your boss in a couple of weeks will be like, how are you doing something different than everybody else? And you'll be like, it's because I'm focusing on quality, not on quantity.
I find it easier.
Yeah, me too. And it's your brand, your personal brand.
Yeah, but I think for me, and I mean, I'm utilizing my personal brand, but one of the things that I'm utilizing more than ever, and I said this yesterday in this small training, about how most people neglect to look at something that's extremely crucial on anybody's website, and that's mission, vision, values. Take that and then transfer it over with things that you're seeing on LinkedIn, especially the person that you're trying to speak to. And I did this about a month ago, and I reached out to somebody who I've been watching what they're doing as a leader. And they were talking about how pissed off they were getting about people reaching out to him cold. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I know what you don't like. So I took what he didn't like, and I went and I looked at the website, and I understand their initiative and their end result and their end goal. Then I went back and I said, when I went through the call and I tried through the email work, I just got through the noise. I know what you don't want. I know what you want. So if I just go straight to the point and I tell you this is what the results are going to get, it's exactly what you've been asking for in your post the entire time. Just cut the bullshit. Tell me the truth. And that's how I ended up getting the contract with them. It was that simple. I just cut the noise out. It was much easier because I am a salesperson. I don't want people bugging me. He doesn't want to get bugged. I just did exactly what he was asking. But I had the data. The data was available to me. And most people don't take advantage of the data. They don't take advantage of the research piece. And they truly should, because it's available. Just go and harness that and then bring it into the conversation.
I have a question too for the panel. This is like a personal pet peeve, and I don't know if it's just me. How do you feel when someone goes, so I see you're the insert title of whatever? Like, does that just immediately make you be like, absolutely not?
Yes. 100%.
No.
Kim on our team might be attending right now, but she got a great email that said, rumor has it you're the VP of strategy. And she's like, no shit, it's on my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah. Well, Eddie, since you brought up data and we're talking about spamming versus selling, I can't help but to mention understanding your audience and moving into the cookieless future and utilizing your first party data to understand your audience. Your customer data, your CRM data is your most valuable data as a salesperson and as a marketer, because we can use that data to learn from it and understand who these people are. And, you can upload it into OmniIQ. We just had our launch, plug to BeatX. But, that's just a simple tool, and there are other ones out there, but it'll literally tell you what is the gender makeup, basic demographics for free. There's so much data out there, and the trick is to make sure that you're focusing on the quality data. So, third-party cookies are going away. We need to start targeting as marketers using our first-party data and working with sales to make sure that we have a strong data culture, that we're all entering what should be entered so that we can enrich it and make it better and actionable and do things with it. But that's how we're going to get away from this spamming, thing. Is like, well, like the pitch slapping on LinkedIn, part of it is you're just not reaching the right people at the right time. You're not showing them, them, as Sam says. So, understand your audience and harness your first party data.
Yeah, and I'd definitely like to say something before we get into the halftime and we show the video. So as I was saying earlier, and I say this to everybody, data is the new oil. We know this. But I think as salespeople, and I'd love if anybody would like to touch on this line, I say data is the new oil. Our job is to find a way to turn it into fire. That's really the objective here. And what I said were very basic pieces of data like website, mission, vision, value. But there's tons of different signals that you can find, like hiring signals, funding signals, tons of different signals that you can find on the web these days, and just utilize that to your advantage. So why don't we get into halftime? Give everybody a second to take a drink, take a little break. I'll present a 90-second video, I think it is, from Lead Delta. We'll jump back into third, but before we go into third topic, make sure we get everybody plugging in for the third prize. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to go ahead and take it away, Eddie, and do the video?
Yeah. Let me plug in the video and give everybody a quick little break here. So this video is going to be presented, by Vedran from Lead Delta, which I had the absolute pleasure to meet in person last week. He is from the same city as I am in Ottawa, and it is an unbelievable tool. So let me show you what that looks like. See you soon.
Hello, Power Networkers. My name is Ved, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lead Delta, your #1 LinkedIn network manager. I say #1 because it is twice voted #1 product of the day on Product Hunt and also has over 500 5-star reviews. We turned this into a beautifully designed CRM table that will help you get on top of your most valuable asset, your connections. You can enhance the table by adding date-connected contact information tags and even the last message column, which tells you when was the last time you messaged a person and whether they messaged you back. Now, you can apply powerful filters with different tags that you can preset or automated tags that we have for you. Also, filter data based on the number of followers your connections have, date you connected, and all that is possible within Lead Delta. I can also select any of my connections and send personalized messages, applying the most important variables that I care about. I can, at any point in time, export the data, including notes and tags that you can add within Lead Delta or on LinkedIn. Speaking of messages, how hard it is to get to inbox 0? Well, not super hard with Lead Delta, because here I can put to the top, pin to the top, most important messages. And for example, when chatting to my buddy Eddie, I can see the most information such as tags and notes that I, kind of care about instead of seeing ads. If I apply a tag, for example, that says follow up in 5 days, by using the power of Zapier, I can actually get a follow-up reminder in my calendar within seconds. Now, how cool is that? This is just one of the features or a couple of features that we have here for you to help you become a power networker. Do not hesitate to start a trial and ping me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Isn't that an unbelievable tool? So I use it, and I actually just got Jesse to sign up for it, and I just started about, it was like 2 weeks ago or so. I was sold on immediately right after I saw that video. So definitely go and check that out. Oh, I can see Vedran's actually with us. You're most welcome. Love you too, broski. So why don't we jump into third? But before we do that, of course, why don't we start getting into the mention for the third prize? And that is going to be Lead Delta, as tons of people already started doing. Clearly, they figured it out before I had the chance to say it. But plug in Lead Delta and don't stop. Let's get into third part. Would you like to take it away?
Let's do it. So yeah, our third topic for tonight is LinkedIn DM or email. I can't remember where we were going in the who brought up this topic. Was it me? Did I bring it up? I think I was inspired by maybe Alexis, because I saw on LinkedIn you were posting a lot about outbound email.
Yeah, because I keep getting so many all of a sudden. It's like you get a new job and people see the notification, which I also wanted to bring this up. I was just thinking about this in the previous conversation. And if you are selling and you are super excited that there is a new decision maker at your target company, please let them settle in. Like, the chance that someone is going to buy something immediately, like first week that they took a job, they're probably onboarding. And I've actually had friends who are trying to sell into my new company where I've told them, like, hey, here's the scoop. We got this going on. We got that going on. Knowing what I know, this person's doing this, that, and the other. Like, this is your ideal time to shoot your shot. It's inundating when you are receiving all of these messages that are asking you to make decisions, and you're like, I literally am learning my email password right now. Can you like have a second?
LinkedIn DM all day. Everybody that you've ever seen on this show, other than Justin Welch, has been through the DMs. Like I slide heavy in DM. Like
yeah,
I got
but okay. Here's a good question for you though too, because this was a situation that again happened today. So friend wants to sell to someone on my team who she's on LinkedIn, but she's not like super into LinkedIn. And I know her personality, very direct, very to the point. And I know his style, and he is very social, and he would essentially like make friends with her. Right. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I know her, like, that's probably not going to be your best strategy. Like you probably should be pretty direct with like what you know, why you want to talk to her and whatever, and see what happens. Now, the question becomes, is that better to do via email, or is that better to do via LinkedIn? I would like to ask our panel.
I think that's an email.
I'll let everybody go first.
I think that's an email. I'd rather receive that as an email. I think that is a much better way to communicate. I think so. I prefer LinkedIn DMs, but I think it really depends on what people are trying to get across. Certain things are perfect for DMs, and certain things are meant for an email. And I think it just kind of, I think knowing how many DMs I get a day, same thing with emails, but you have to be nuanced in the way that you communicate. So an email is much more, I would say, important. So if someone's going to spend the time to open an email, read an email, respond to an email, you better make it good. A DM needs to be thoughtful, but it doesn't need to go to the lengths of me responding to an email. But I think it's the more information that you're putting into it, obviously, like if you're going to send me a 20 paragraph, I mean, you shouldn't do this at all, but paragraph LinkedIn DM, I'm going to say nope, like immediately. I'm not going to read it. So if it's something a little bit longer, it's spaced out, it's obviously very thoughtful. Do that as an email versus a LinkedIn DM.
Definitely. Any other thoughts? Anyone? LinkedIn DM?
Oh man, it's like this long, right? And who can read that? Again,
it doesn't even fit in the box.
It's hire a copywriter, y'all, or something. I don't know. Put some bullet points.
Seriously.
Why? I can't read all that. And even if I could, I don't want to. It's too much. Again, top level decision makers probably get 50 to 100, right? DMs a day, plus what's in their inbox on their business side, not even personal inbox. You have to be so crystal clear, so to the point, and white space is your friend.
Yes.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes.
White space is a good thing because it's easy on the eye. Use white space. It's great. And do it the same thing with your about section and your profile as well. Use some white space. Nobody wants to read all of these characters all in a row. It just is too much.
People that don't break up paragraphs. That is. I mean,
what? People still do that?
It's tough on the eyes.
I don't.
Oh my God!
Because it can't be me.
I would gladly like to help. So I saw two people in the comments say that the inbox in LinkedIn sucks. It does. I made a video about this, and it got really good traction on LinkedIn. Actually, for those who do not know on our panelists, or if you're watching currently. This is my trick, and it has helped tons of people. You have two different portions for the time being, at least until hopefully they fix it. You have focused and you have others. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I take everything out of others and put it into focused to start, because everything that lands anew goes into your focused. So when you leave others open, you want to start taking what's important out of focused, put them into others. And if they're really pertinent and very important and high priority, you want to go in your others and press unread. That's how I've been able to do follow-ups, and that's how I've been able to have important conversations get away for the inbox that just keeps climbing. That's been the trick I've used, and people have told me and literally DM me, bro, you saved my life. Like I couldn't get back to DMs. I was going scrolling to find people. Don't do that. Transfer them to others.
Yeah, I'm bad about that. I owe a few people a message.
Let's talk about something that Alexis said, though, that I think is really important, right? You track a job change, which is super, super important. You should be tracking job changes. And when people move, we should capitalize on that. But how do we do it while not being that super annoying, do you want to buy my product immediately person that a lot of reps can be, right? We even talk about this as a SAM, like a SAM sales hack and a SAM short, and we write it all in one sentence with no breaks. Congratulations on your job change. Do you want to buy my product? No, I don't even know what my email password is or where the bathroom is, although we know where the bathroom is because we're at home. Am I right? Anyway, here's what we want to think about, right? We want to be urgent. We want to show that urgency. We want to be the first person to capitalize on the job change, because data shows that if we are the first person, we're more than likely to get the deal or get the in. We also want to use some EQ, right? So Alexis, congrats on your job change. I would love to eventually talk to you. I know that you are underwater, you were drinking from the fire hose, you were figuring everything out from an onboarding and who your colleagues even are, what your password is. Do you think in about 8 or 9 weeks, you'd be game for a meeting? Can I proactively put some time on your calendar just to hear what you've learned, get a lay of the land of your new company, and see if there's something that we can do to help you? If something comes up beforehand, let me know, but otherwise, how does that sound? So we're quick, but we're also using EQ to be like, it's not all about me. It is a little bit about you, right? We want to make sure that you have a chance to ramp and get onboarded, but I'd really love to meet with you once you are. So it's that proactive approach with using EQ. What do you guys think?
I think 100%. Like
$1,000,000%, yeah.
You can reach out. Like I've done it where you reach out after 6 weeks and then you say, hey, I know you're still getting settled. Like in the next 3-4 weeks, can we put a meeting on the calendar? And that's usually a yes, or it takes a little bit of time for them to respond, but they will, because at that point, they've hopefully been a little bit onboarded, right? They're going to finish up in the next few weeks, and then they're going to need to start making decisions, because if they're a senior level decision maker, they're going to start needing to make an impact. So they are going to start evaluating a lot of the things that you might have to offer. So I think that's a great timeline. I think it makes a lot of sense. You stay top of mind, you get in their inbox, and then you get in there again when they're actually looking to make those decisions that are going to make an impact for them and help them at the job. I think that's makes a huge difference.
And don't forget to nurture, right? Go back to that, what we talked about in the beginning. Just your nurture is sending information that's of help to them without asking for anything, right? It's not like, would now be a better time? No, just send something along that can teach them something and go from there.
Would it be okay to add something?
I guess. Yeah. Bring it on.
No.
Fine. I'm out of here. That was a joke. No, but I agree with both. You don't have to put me here. I'm not that important. But but there is something I want to touch on. And I actually learned this while doing it. But at the last SaaS company I was doing the enterprise sales with, I saw somebody that was in cybersecurity, and it was a senior leader that ended up going to the position. What I did is I ended up calling somebody lower in the echelon and saying, hey, what's the onboarding time usually like in your organization? That person told me it's 6 weeks, but that person's only been there for 4 weeks. So I knew that I wasn't just going to reach out and start bugging the person immediately, but I did what both of you just said. I just said, just hearing in this industry, usually onboarding is about 4 to 6 weeks. How about reach out again in about 3 weeks, and then we can have a talk about XYZ. And funny enough, I got a response on that just by asking somebody lower in the echelon. That's the data right there.
Also, just acknowledging that they're new to the role, I think is really important. Like, I understand you just entered into this new position. Congratulations. Like, if you're not doing that and you're just reaching out and being like a hawk, it just, the EQ isn't there. So I think you have to, take some of that into account and just make sure that you're acting like a person. It's like, hey, I see you just moved jobs. Congratulations. Really awesome new role. This is what we do. This is what I'd love to talk to you about. Here it is. And then we'll follow up in the next few weeks.
Love it.
Can I have one analogy to that? I love what you just said. I like to think about, so I come from an outside sales background. And every time I'm selling on social media, I like to think about if I was an outside salesperson knocking on a prospect's door and I didn't have an appointment, they didn't know who I was, they've never heard of my company, product, or service before, and I go in there without an appointment, swing the door wide open, and slap a piece of paper in their face and say, buy this. The best case scenario is they're going to look at it and throw it in the trash. Worst case scenario is they're going to say, please don't come back here anymore, right? So this is the same way on social media. When we're doing these sleazy kind of cold pitch slappy DMs, we're not taking into account that there's another person, another human being right on the end of that line that has feelings, that wants to be nurtured, that just wants some personalized attention. So again, I like to think of it as if I was an outside sales rep right now, knocking on a physical door of a customer, Would I act differently? And if you say yes, you need to change your approach, bring back a little bit more humanity in your sales process.
I think you touched on it right there, though, right? And that, oh, go ahead, you go.
You're on mute.
Oh, am I on mute?
Well, not you.
I was on mute.
No, you weren't on
I'm
mute.
back.
No, I was just saying, anyone else have any other thoughts? Go ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say you nailed it, right? Like you 100% nailed it. The difference, right, between the people who are really the successful people in sales and those who are still striving to be are the ones that think about the client. It's not about us. It's not about our initiatives and our goals and everything. And the minute we stop and pause for a second, think less about our quota, think less about our goals, think less about our numbers, and just think somebody's giving us time. Somebody has showed up to a discovery call. They changed jobs. They probably have challenges. As soon as we stop thinking about ourselves and start thinking about the others and say, what can I help you solve? Even if it's something that doesn't benefit me, that's where we really start to shift. That's where we start to play the long game. That's where we build these incredible relationships where people trust us because we help them, even if it doesn't benefit us. It's huge.
Well, that's the top of mind piece too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
so crazy we have to talk about like knowing that people are human. Like
Surprising.
Yeah. That seems to be the theme of this whole conversation. You know, everyone, we just need to humanize B2B a little more, which I think kind of gets into the fourth topic, but I don't want to cut us off. Does anyone else have anything to say about, you know, when to use a LinkedIn DM versus when to use an email? All right. Well, then let's go ahead and get into that fourth topic. And it's storytelling and having fun in B2B. This was inspired by your podcast, Melissa. So if you don't mind, could you kick us off on these topics?
Yeah, so I come from a consumer media background. I was the 10th employee at BuzzFeed, as I mentioned, and everything there was about having fun, understanding your audience, understanding what will emotionally resonate with people, and how to actually connect with them and create content that resonates with them. So it was a test when I started. It was like a viral project. What could we make go viral? Who could we reach with certain pieces of content? So when I came to ClickUp, I wanted to take a lot of what I had learned in the B2C space and bring it along with me to B2B. It's really, it was crazy. I felt like it was such a green grass like opportunity where people weren't really having that much fun. I never saw that much creativity, that much humor, that much emotional resonance in marketing, in brand building. So there's a lot of ways you can do it. There are really small pieces and then there are the larger pieces. The smaller pieces are thinking about every single touch point that you have and creating a blueprint for that, of course, sticking to the regular playbook, but then also being able to infuse that personality and that brand into every single thing that you do. And that can be in product, that can be through social, that can be through performance marketing, but it should have a throughput where people are actually emotionally engaged with it. Because if you're just creating something that's selling features, and this seems very obvious, it should be very obvious, it's not going to stand out. Everything is super crowded. Tech is super democratized. You can have the best product in the world, but everyone else has a product that's probably going to catch up in the next 20 or in the next 12 months or 24 months. So it's really important to really be able to stand out and create an emotional connection. And I learned that and I've been able to apply that here and it's been amazing. And I see a lot of other now B2B companies starting to do it. And it's exciting. It's exciting to break up the landscape and what's been done and seeing challenger brands come in and being able to say, hey, this isn't the way it needs to be forever. We can apply this B2C mentality into B2B and we can still win. We can still have fun. We can still reach the target market and the target demographic. And we can do it this way and really change it. So it's a little bit of my thoughts on it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Yeah. I know. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's not anything to go on top of it, but just thinking about emotion, I do want to play to the emotion, and we do have a surprise gift today.
Oh.
So yeah, and this to me, I think it's going to trigger an emotion in everybody. So why don't I go ahead?
And it's going to be fun too.
Yeah, it is. And funny enough, this is the first time we do it. And I think it's been a trend for Whiskey. We literally do something new like every single show. And this kind of spawned on me because somebody reached out to me and said, we'd love to do this. So I said, why the hell not? So let's play on some emotions and give a surprise gift of some cookies. So,
I love
right?
cookies.
Right? I can see everybody in the panel like, right? Who doesn't fucking love cookies? I just want to like, No, but seriously, so Grove Cookie Company reached out, and I just, I couldn't say no. And I'm actually going to be getting a dozen. Jess is going to be getting a dozen. What I would like to do, I'm going to speak to them to get everybody on the panel tonight to get also a free dozen shipped to their house. So if it isn't going to happen, I'll pay for it. I don't care. But nonetheless, what I do want is everybody to go in the mentions, and you could see the name on the screen. Mention Grove Cookie Company. That is exactly how it's spelled. Grove Cookie Company, and I'll get them to send you a dozen to your house and talk about playing to your emotion. Like, who doesn't love cookies? If you don't, you shouldn't be on the show. Just saying. No, seriously, stay. But like, if you don't, we have a problem. So anyways, let's get back in topic. We also have one more surprise, actually. Should we just
want to do the other surprise too, really quick?
Yeah, hell with it. Let's do it. So Tom Slocum,
okay,
big homie Tom Slocum, would like to give out a template of 35 emails for sales outreach. So if you do want this one, what I'm asking is to go plug in at the SD Labs. If you want 35 emails and you're struggling with your email game, I know Tom, he's one of my, literally my best homies on LinkedIn.
We love Tom. Tom's great.
He's been on here 75 times, but nonetheless, so he has email game on fleek. So just literally go and press the SD Labs in your mentions. Let's give that away. Let's give them both away.
Let's do it.
Tons of stuff tonight.
Way to go, Tom, on getting that together. That's awesome.
Let's get back into topics.
You know what? I love this topic, Eddie, because let's talk about the inspiration. I just recorded on the Recorded Content podcast today, and they were asking about the inspiration of Whiskey Wednesday. And it was like, we wanted to have fun. And we talked about this need of having fun in B2B and how we thought we would stand out. If we went on LinkedIn and, oh my God, we drank whiskey and we were so scared in the beginning to oh my God, we're going to get fired. We're drinking whiskey on LinkedIn. But here we are. We did it. And that's storytelling and having fun on B2B. But that's me and Eddie's story on storytelling and having fun. And I couldn't be more grateful to have all these awesome guests with us here today to talk about this too. So storytelling is huge in B2B. And, I know a lot of you, you focused a lot on sales. How does storytelling in B2B help from a sales perspective?
Oh my God, it gets everything. Go, Tara. You go, Tara. I'm going to follow you. You go. I'm ride your coattails.
We'll take turns. Well, it's everything. It again, 100% of your customers are people. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And the way you build trust and likability is with storytelling. So it's your superpower, right? And the way I think of it is that there's no other human like you on the face of this planet that has had your same background, same experience, same education, same whatever. There is a skill set, there's a story, there's a background that we all have that make us unique individuals. And that is a superpower when you tell it. Because people, again, buy from people. They buy stories. People want to know that where you came from because they might have been there. And they just want to know that by listening to your story, it automatically set them up to understand that they could have success, right? By you sharing your story, it allows others. And the way I think of it is human beings are like an onion. And every time you tell your story, you uncover the layers of the onion so that end consumer, that customer, that prospect, whoever, that business partner, investor even, can really get to know who you are as a person, because there's absolute power in storytelling. And as long as human history has been around and as long as we've evolved through storytelling. And that's been what's really brought us together as a human species, even throughout time, are those powerful stories that we've taught others. And again, it just brings the humanity back to business. And it's that attraction mechanism that can help somebody take them to that next level, because all of a sudden they're inspired to believe based on something that you said that resonated with them. It's so powerful.
Love it. I think it's interesting. We were talking about this today on LinkedIn. There was a guy who posted on LinkedIn, and he talked about how a CMO, I think, was annoyed with him. And so that was his post on LinkedIn. He said the CMO was annoyed with him. This is him talking. He said, I was doing a discovery call. I asked him 9 light questions. And then at that point, he got annoyed with me. He said, I'm getting annoyed with you. Can you go into the demo? So I flexed. That's what I did instead. Now, the idea of the post was about how he flexed. And the idea of the post really should have been, why are we asking 9 questions back to back instead of using a little storytelling? So that's exactly what I asked. And I said, hey, I was like, let me ask you a question. Did you ask these questions back to back, these nine light questions? Did you ask them back to back? And he was like, yeah, why? And I was like, here's what I think, right? So the power of storytelling is we can get on a call, we can talk to one of our prospects and we can ask a few questions, but storytelling and connecting with the buyer on what they're telling us their challenges are, right, is how we earn the right to continue asking questions. So ask a question or two, say, hey, you told me you're struggling with discovery call conversions. Tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, sure. So we get a discovery call and our conversions on average from call 1 to call 2 are 44%. So when we come back, we say, ooh, 44%, that's tough. Number one, that's a little bit of a storytelling. We're saying we know that that's not a great number. So we're showing and we're building a little bit of trust just with that. And then number two, we're saying, any ideas on why that is? Why is the conversion so low? What's your initial thought? We're actively listening, right? By asking a question based on the answer that we got to our initial question. The person says, we don't know. We're trying to analyze this and this is something we're hopeful you can help with. Great. Storytelling. Let me tell you a little bit about this. So this actually makes me think of a customer that came on. They had a very similar situation as you. When we dug in, we found that the discovery calls were started in the wrong way. The people either said, I'd like to round robin for the next 17 minutes and hear everybody's title and what you're responsible for on the call, or that they started the call with super, super narrow questions and then talked about themselves for the next 28 minutes. So I'm telling a story, I'm helping somebody identify, right, with what we're talking about, but I'm also saying a little something that earns me the ability to continue asking question 3 and 4 and 9 and so forth. What we also want to do with that storytelling is we want people to see themselves and our clients, what they used to look like, and that's what they look like today, and want to look like what they look like right now.
This is interesting, Sam, because you're making me think about my last role.
Yeah.
And the more I'm thinking about the conversations that I had with founders, heads of talent, heads of sales, a lot of the calls that we had were very consultative in the sense that I was sharing what I knew in very much a story and like, hey, here's what I've seen. I've seen companies do this, because it always starts with a question, right? We're doing discovery. We're finding out as much as we can. And then just sharing like, hey, like I've seen XYZ companies do this. Here's kind of how it turned out. Here's what I would recommend. So again, showing that level of knowledge and expertise and that building that trust in my knowledge that I can help them and I understand their situation. I never thought about it like this, but I did a lot through storytelling. So thank you.
I love it. And that's what pays off, right? Also your storytelling shows you have experience. It shows you're an expert in this space. It shows that you work with clients just like them. It can go such a long way. And we remember stories. We talk about that all the time, right? We remember stories over data.
For sure.
Definitely.
Well,
Anybody?
interestingly, I have something to say about storytelling and just like on LinkedIn again, because Lord only knows I'm on there all day long. But when I think like if you were to look at all of my posts, 99.999% are stories. And people always ask me like, who are getting started or whatever, what should I post about? And I always say the same thing. Tell your story. Literally talk about things that are happening in your life right now. If you don't feel like you're an expert, you're just getting started or whatever, one thing you are 100% the expert in is your own story. You know that better than anyone else. And I think it was Sam who said it earlier, but there is always someone who's going to read what you wrote, and it could be one person and they're going to go, oh shoot, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing.
100%.
Mel, what do you think? Oh, is that a cat?
Is that a cat or a
That's
child?
my cat. Oh,
That cat want cookie?
wait, say that again?
Does that cat want cookie?
My cat would probably eat a cookie.
Oh my god! I saw
you call me Mel. No one really calls me that, so I was caught off.
I am so sorry, Melissa.
No, you can call me Mel. I haven't been called Mel in a while, so it was. What was the question?
Do cats like cookies?
My cat. Yes. I got distracted by my cat. Lots going on. What was the question, Eddie?
Sorry, what were your thoughts? on what Alexis was just saying.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you have to be able to talk about yourself and your experiences. Like that's what people are going to be attracted to for like you, what you have to offer, what you've learned in the world. Like that is 100% is where you need to really like focus and double down if you're trying to attract people to follow you. I think I don't know if it was you, Alexis, that said this, but every person has such a unique story to tell about their experience in the world. And I think LinkedIn has become a platform where now you're really able to tell that, and everyone can learn something. So I think 100% start talking about your experience last week, your experience 2 months ago, and anything that you've experienced, and start to write it down. And I think it can be really overwhelming to be like, why do you need to think about like, or how do you start to think about like how you write about yourself, how you write about your learnings, how do you write about your career path? But it really can start out with, what did you learn yesterday? What did you learn last week? What did you learn 2 months ago? And starting to build on that. And then all of a sudden you start thinking like that, and your mindset gets into like story mode. And I think when you're in story mode, you're constantly thinking about how your life has become a story. And then you really are able to articulate that in kind of that way. So it really does start out with those like really small pieces. And then I think you can build that up, and it's a muscle. And then all of a sudden you can create these really incredible posts, these really meaningful things about things that you've learned that will really have a major impact on people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Fire.
Get that off there.
Should we just start giving like shit?
I see like how my cat interrupted this call. And
No, God, no. I think my Mel interrupted the call. I got so used to just texting you Mel that I just got thrown off there for a second.
I thought you said Ellen, actually, and I didn't really.
Can I just see the cat? Like, it's driving me nuts.
Which one? I have a few, so.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I do too. I have 2 cats. I love cats.
I love cats.
I love cats too. Okay, so why don't we just start giving away some shit?
Why not?
And then go Guru of the Week, and then just have the after party, and then who would like to join us?
Give away prizes and then Guru of the Week?
Let's do that, yeah. Let's give away all the prizes. I'll do it super quickly, and then we'll just go into Guru. And
Let's
I know
do it.
we have an awesome Guru this week, so stay tuned for the Guru of the Week. So let me start doing that. Mark, what do you think? Should we do some music? No music?
Yeah, let me get this music ready. Okay, I'm
Music
ready.
going. Let's get this music going. Let's give some free shit away. Let's do it.
All right, you guys have like
All right,
10
love
seconds to plug in like Authored In, ClickUp, Lead Delta, Grow Up in Cookie Company, the SD Lab. Get it plugged in. We are going to do these prizes. Let's start with that first prize, Eddie. Authored
Let's do
In,
it.
shall
So
we?
let me make sure I go in and share my screen here. Perfect. All right. Let's go in here. Done and done.
Done and
Oh,
done.
all right. So let's go ahead and see who's going to be the lucky winner here.
Lucky winner of prize number 1.
Gonna be the lucky winner. All right, Riley.
Riley.
Woo, Riley.
Congratulations,
Riley.
Riley.
Let me make sure I write your name here so I have it, and I'm going to reach out to you. So as everybody knows, and all the people who have won a ton of stuff with us in the past, simply enough, you are going to win the headset from Headset Advisor. So for anyone who's watching, if you need help with trying to figure out what headset you need for you or your team, don't just go blind and just buy anything. Just reach out to them. For the love of God, just reach out to them. They'll give you what you need, not what you want. And also the Sadness Hat from Ross Pomerantz over at Corporate Bros. So for Riley, I'm going to reach out to you within the next 24 to 48 hours, connect you with both individuals, and get you some free stuff. So let me go ahead and do the second one here.
Let's do the second prize, which let me just pull it up here. This is what you'll be winning.
And make the second prize happen really quickly. I'll try to go as fast as I can here. All righty. So, not this one. Not that one. Damn, you're going too quick for me, Bart. You're too quick for me, Bart. There we go.
I just wanted to listen to the music. I knew it would show up. It's gonna be. Oh!
Oh, Tanya, congratulations.
Congratulations.
We are super happy. Let's keep the momentum going. Keep the music on.
Keep it going. All right.
Yeah. It is what it is. I'll do whatever I can to just keep going as fast as I can.
All right. Let's
Alrighty
pull
here.
up prize
So
3 here.
this
Here it is.
Where is it?
This is what you're gonna win. Prize 3. I'm gonna get the music on. You might beat me. Okay. Winner. Oh, Tom, you almost won. Mark Mack. I swear, has Mark Mack won? Like, 3 times now?
He has won 3 times on this show. And I know I've confirmed he's received this stuff. So this is great. I talked to him last week, actually, for like almost an hour on the phone. He had me on his podcast. It was awesome. So thank you for that, Mark. I will obviously contact you again.
Podcast is it Mac and Zach in the morning?
Yeah. And it was at 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning, which is tomorrow morning. I was completely finished. Like I woke up at like 5 with my daughter and my son was waking up right after. And it was a good episode though. It was a really good episode.
Congratulations, Mark. All right. Should we do the surprise?
Let's about some cookies. I know that Melissa likes the cookies, so I'm going to make sure to get her some cookies. I saw your comment that you wrote. I struck a chord in there.
I mean, you really did.
I mean, just because you said that, I'm going to find a way to get you 2 boxes. So, no, let's not get some jealousy here. No jelly, just peanut butter. Just saying.
Oh my God.
All right. So let's give out some cookies.
Cookies. Who's it going to be?
Leon, okay, congratulations. Okay, I'm seeing some new names every single week. Every single week we're seeing some new names come up here. This is beautiful. I love it. All right. Last but not least, we're gonna give away the 35 emails. This is something I actually want to ask him for, and he told me he'd sell it. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate that. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about that today. Another conversation. All right, let's give away the last prize of this evening. Sarah
Hanks, congratulations.
Sarah.
That's awesome. All right, let me turn this music off.
Congratulations to everybody. We are thrilled that you were able to win something on the best show in the whole world, obviously on LinkedIn only. But,
no bias.
No bias or anything, just the best show in the world on LinkedIn. Make sure the disclaimer is there. But I will make sure to reach out to all of you as I do every single week. And if there is any questions, please do let us know. How about we get into Guru of the Week? I am thrilled about this.
Guru of the Week.
Woo!
Guru of the Week. All right. So who mentioned the first? Was it Sam? Did you first bring up her name? Who brought up?
Let's stick to tradition.
J.A.?
Yeah. Let's stick to tradition, though. We'll do a 3, 2, 1, and everyone say it at the same time.
Okay.
Do the countdown for me, please. 3,
2, 1.
Jen Allen.
Woo!
Tell us about Jen Allen. Why was she chosen as the Guru of the Week?
You guys, if you do not know Jen Allen, go and follow her immediately. She has sold for 16, 17 years. She has been an incredible seller. And now she is the chief evangelist at Challenger. I think there are 100,000 creators out there on LinkedIn, and a lot of people repurpose other people's content. A lot of people post a lot of fluff like, go get motivated. And you're like, riveting, thanks. Jen posts really great stuff. It's super actionable. She gives you scripts. She gives you real life scenarios. She talks about things that are a little bit higher level. She's awesome. And she has a really nice personality to boot. I think you rarely find someone who's super smart, super nice, and can get it done from a sales perspective. So that is my take on Jen.
Yes. And I seconded that immediately because I have been following Jen for quite some time and enjoying all of her content. However, I recently got to actually chat with her one-on-one, and she is just as lovely live in a conversation as she is on the interwebs. And yes, everyone go follow her. She's awesome.
Congratulations, Jen Allen.
We've had her on our show, actually, and she was lovely. And I'm going to be super biased here. Challenger sales is my favorite sales methodology. So she knows that about me. We spoke on the phone, and it was crazy how much we had in common. I believe in that so much. But
again, a follow and an ad. Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, everyone go follow Jen Allen. Keep up with her. I first heard about her on Hype Cycle, and she was a judge on Hype Cycle. So she is a pretty awesome person. So that is who the Guru of the Week is. I guess we didn't have our banner, but the party doesn't end. This is bananas, and we do have an after party. And we'll be plugging in a Google Hangout. And we would love if our guests would join us. We understand it's already late. And I don't know what hour it is wherever you are, but it's 10:30 here. But sometimes the after party goes late. if you could just stay for 15 minutes, we understand. But yeah, our audience loves to come and hang out and meet our guests. And this is usually where people feel a little more comfortable talking than on the LinkedIn Live. But what do you think, Eddie? Should we plug in our Google Hangout?
I've already been doing it. So actually, while I keep doing it, this is my way, of course, of saying at the end our thank you very much and making sure that we do thank our guests. So bottom of our heart. Oh, look, we already have like 4 people joining. This is great. So bottom of our heart, we do want to say thank you so much. This was an incredible panel for me. Me and Jess have literally been talking about getting an all-women panel for so long. And it just seems like every single time there's such a great synergy with the guests that we bring on. And tonight was second to none. I loved everything about it. And for anybody that is watching, know that we're going to try to continue and keep the momentum going as much as possible. We have some awesome episodes coming, and we would truly love if you would join us in the after party. I did include the link in our private chat, and I also included it in the comments for LinkedIn. We already have about 5-6 people in there right now. It usually gets up to about 20-25 people. So I'm sure people want to definitely ask you some questions on the private side where we can actually do a lot more swearing. No joke. But even like a live demo of like ClickUp or something, just saying, throwing it out there. No, I might do it, just saying.
I wish I could make it. I didn't know. You didn't tell me about the after party.
I left it in like the description of the DM.
We should put it in the calendar, just like book everybody out for like 3 hours.
Well, say hi. If you want to pop in for literally a minute, just say hi. So it's cool. If not, we completely understand. There's never an imposition. There's always an imposition. But literally, we would love to. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to everybody before. And sorry, Jess always does the goodbyes with the outro. But again, on my part, thank you so much. It was an absolutely lovely episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, was that me? I'm not quite sure what was going on there. But yes, thank you, everybody. We hope that you all will consider coming on again in the future. This was an awesome conversation. And like Eddie said, join us in the after party. But I guess I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up with our outro video. So feel free to stick on, and we'll be on after the outro video before we hop over to the Google Hangout. But for all of our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to Whiskey Wednesday. This was a lot of fun, and we really appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us. So until next week, bye-bye.